Hi guys, this is Dr. Sadasivam once again with you. Guys, we have seen how the stock market has recovered from 15,500 to 17,800. Of course, today the Nifty has fallen slightly, but that's different. We will talk about that. All sectors have been doing well, and there is one particular sector which stands out, which is the automotive sector, and within which there is a company called as Ashok Leyland. And I'm sure those of you who monitor the share market regularly, this company was selling at 40 in March 2020, and in just a period of 2 years it has almost touched 160 rupees. Guys, I repeat that, 40 rupees in 2020 to more than 160. It may have slightly fallen down, but it has touched that figure. What a miraculous performance! 4 times. Guys, if you have invested money X in this company, it would have become 4x now. I saw an interview of Gopal Mahadevan, who is a Chief Financial Officer of Ashok Leyland, and he has clearly laid out plans in terms of where they would like to see Ashok Leyland in the next few years, their volume guidance, revenue guidance, their strategies, some of the changes, etc. Gopal Mahadevan doesn't require any introduction. He has been a very frequent person in the CNBC, and in one such interviews he laid out a lot of things which I'd like to encapsulate in this 3 or 4 minutes presentation. Guys, he mentions that there has been a very solid growth both in the medium segment as well as the heavy segment. In fact, he said that they've clocked very decent numbers both in quarter 1 as well as quarter 2. So he attributes two different reasons for that. One is the pent up demand, and second, he is talking about a genuine pickup. Guys, he talks about the fact that before 2 years, even after the introduction of BS6, and then host of bad things happened in the automobile industry, especially in the truck segment. There was COVID, there was Ukraine war, and host of issues. And even before 2020, it was not a good year at all. They were not good years. And he also talks about a very important aspect of axle load norms, and it resulted in approximately 20% capacity addition in select vehicles, and the supply that has been created of axle load revision has also played its part as far as the boost in demand was concerned. And the second one he is attributing is through government's investment in the infrastructure. All of us know that all these sectors under the efficient leadership of the government, all sectors have grown, and is very confident that this truck segment can grow only better, grow only further. He quoted some of the rating agency numbers where this particular truck segment, the commercial segment, is expected to grow by 15 to 18% growth, and is very confident that Ashok Leyland will be able to ride on this wave, especially your medium segment, heavy segment, light commercials. All these segments are expected to grow. But as regards breakdown of these numbers, he feels that it's very difficult to give a breakdown of these numbers in terms of specific numbers, because there's a lot of heterogeneity in performance. For example, South has done well in certain months. There are some quarters during the year where North and the West will do well, etc. But overall, the industry projections are likely to be very good, and the industry is expected to grow much more than what the rating agencies have said. And whether it is the tipper demand, whether it's the multi-growth vehicles, whether it's the LCVs, all vehicles have grown. Especially the last mile connectivity is extremely important because of this e-commerce, etc. All that is expected to push the volumes of Ashok Leyland in the months and years to come. Now, as regards the chip and the semiconductor, he feels that the problem still exists. but the severity of this crisis that existed around 7 or 8 months back is not there anymore, and it's come down quite sharply, probably because of two things. And one is the production capacity has been augmented for microchips, and secondly, he talks about the demand side. And on the demand side, especially during COVID, lots and lots of semiconductors were diverted to the consumer electronics industry, which consumed largely these microchips, your semiconductors, etc. And all that is waning a little bit, and all automobile companies, whether it's commercial vehicles or it's passenger vehicles, they're all seeing slightly increased availability of microchips and semiconductors. So with better capacity, with better supply chain, and little of rational demand. He talks about the rational demand because he specifically mentioned about rational demand in his interview, and therefore in the couple of quarters the semiconductor problem will start waning down. And he talks a lot about some of the constraints that the auto industry has gone through, especially in the last 3 years. Lot of changes, guys. They have affected the commercial industry, commercial vehicle industry, and now things will improve. The primary demand is also going up, and secondly, he is extremely confident that the global economy is also reviving, and the Indian economy will grow much better compared to the global economy, and that's what most of the economic experts are saying, and all that will have a good impact on margins. Though as a financial head, he wasn't giving any specific profit guidance or margin guidance or revenue guidance are concerned. So as far as the raw material prices are concerned, he said that they had witnessed great spikes in prices, especially as far as the input raw materials are concerned. And it's not that everything will benefit the industry. It will start benefiting because they all have a lag effect. He talks about that because most of these purchases happen through forward deals, and one can expect the reduction in prices to play out only in the remaining quarters, and I think that's what he meant. And maybe we will start seeing positive effects of commodity prices declining only from Q2 onwards or Q3 onwards, when these reduction in commodity prices will start have a bearing on the profits or margins. As far as the margins are concerned, though, as he said, he has not given any specific profit guidance or the margin guidance, but with the prospect of commercial sales increasing in the current quarters, evidenced by the growth of volumes as far as Ashok Leyland is concerned, both during the Q4 of last year and Q1 of this year, he says that things are going to be really good for Ashok Leyland. He also talks about the last mile connectivity. He talks about how well those model, all these are doing extremely well, and the network is doing extremely well, and there's been a lot of restructuring within the company at the leadership level, a lot of restructuring as far as dealer network is concerned, and with all this they augur very well for further improvement both in terms of volumes and profitability as well as Ashok Leyland is concerned. Very eye-opening interview, and as of now things are extremely good unless some uncontrollable event plays out. But as of now, Ashok Leyland needs to be a very good share, and I will be coming out with a separate video on the financial performance of Ashok Leyland, and these are some of the comments from the Chief Financial Officer Mahadevan. But let us see how well the company has done. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. I will be analyzing the balance sheet of this company, and I will be putting up a separate video in Shubh Labh in terms of what should be our take, what should be our investment plan as far as this particular stock is concerned. Guys, I would also like to clarify, I'm not a SEBI approved analyst, but yes, from whatever little knowledge I have, I analyze various interviews from top honchos of companies, and I make my own analysis. So each one of you need to be careful in doing this analysis yourself and then taking a proper decision. Okay guys, I hope you like this video. Subscribe to Shubh Labh, where we will be putting up videos only on stock market, completely full and full. And there's another channel which is Dr. Sadasivam's Academy, where we will be dealing with all subjects including corporate training, shop floor training. We have a special playlist for current events, basically aimed at people preparing for competitive examinations, especially the IAS and IPS civil services examination, where we will be talking about various current affairs which are extremely important from the IAS IPS mains point of view, and of course the interviews also. Alright guys, I hope you like this video, and this is Dr. Sadashivam signing off. Till we meet again, bye bye, Jai Hind.